Hi there, Audra here. Here are some essential things you need to know when it comes to understanding design trends and working with trends with your clients. Are you ready? In my trends, chips, and starting points, I did a huge workshop on trends. It's over an hour long. If you want to see the whole thing, click below. This is just a little portion, but I find that a lot of people just sometimes don't get it. Even interior designers and stagers struggle with some of these kind of basic kind of trends elements that we just need to know and understand. First off, we need to understand the difference between a trend and a fad and explain those differences with our clients. And a lot of times when something's brand new, we don't know if it's going to become a trend or a fad. It'll be so hot that it's just gone. Think Barbiecore. Or so hot, but it'll just keep going and going. It's still super hot. So a trend is typically more timeless. It's about 3 to 10 years. Trends are subtle. They're easier to live with typically because that way they can be more timeless. And they usually involve altered classics, and we tend to rebound off each other. I'm going to show you some examples in a second. Fads are short. We don't want to choose anything design-wise in the fad world because it's so quick, it's so hot, it just quickly fades out. I use the example of a chevron pattern. I don't know if you remember many years back, that was just like everywhere and then it was nowhere. Toys are good examples too of fads. And I always joke when the fad goes to Target, it's all over, but that's not true. I actually really like Target, some of the good stuff that they have. So a couple things you need to know. Obviously, you need to know the difference between trends and fads. But here's the other thing. This is kind of my personal pet peeve when it comes to when all the trends get released. And now that I've told you this pet peeve, it's going to annoy you because you're going to see it in every trends article that you ever read. So I have a team of people that work with me when we do our trends workshop and we build it out and we bring out our crystal ball and we do this trends workshop on a lot of statistics and things like that and important articles and whatnot. We do a lot of research, but invariably, in almost any situation, it'll be top 10 trends to avoid or 10 trends that'll be hot in kitchens. And what they usually mention is things that are not really trends to me. So, for instance, one of my personal pet peeves is when they say texture is really trending or contrast is really trending. Well, here's the deal. Texture and contrast are design principles and elements, or they are principles and elements of great design. We need texture in a space. We need contrast to create interest. That will always be trending. The moment texture and contrast goes out of style, design is no more, right? So you'll see that though, more texture, more contrast. And I know what they're talking about is unique texture. So that's why I'm always very specific. Whether that's boucle or mohair or whatever, we can talk about what particularly texture is really trending, but we can't say texture is trending because it should always trend. That's a pet peeve. Another thing that should always be trending really is sustainability, upcycling, recycling. I mean, we are hopefully all of us in a climate conscious world where we really care about not being wasteful. So we're going to see this a lot. You're going to see this in almost every trend article. Sustainability is trending and high-tech appliances. Well, of course, high-tech always trends. Sustainability should always trend. These are things everybody wants to embrace as we move forward in life, right? We all want the newest technology. We all want to be conscious of what we're using and not wasteful. Another thing that's one of my pet peeves is when they say, this is a new one if you haven't heard of biophilic design. It's really kind of bringing the outdoors in, green design. And frankly, I think any good design always brings the outdoors in. So I'm going to go with that always should be trending as well. Greenery, outdoors in, now in the terms of biophilic. And there are actually studies that show that that kind of design in your space is very much more healthful for you. It promotes well-being. There's all sorts of obviously benefits. This shouldn't really surprise us. Do you want to live in a cement jail cell or do you want to live in a home with windows of just a bunch of greenery? You're going to do better in the greenery. So biophilic should not be necessarily a hot trend. It should always trend. The other things that should always be trending is really the ability to maximize your space, right? Not very many of us can afford the 6,000 square foot home. So we are always focusing on maximizing whatever space that we have and making the most of it. And of course, that had particularly been trending they talk about since COVID because we all were stuck inside. But frankly, I want to say that's always trended, right? We always want to maximize our space. And then statement lighting. Lighting is just like the jewelry of the space that should always trend as well. So that's one of my pet peeves. And now that I've showed you these, you're going to see them in every article that you read as a really hot trend. But this is not a hot trend, guys. This should always be trending. We should always focus on these things when we are helping clients design a space. All right, another thing you need to know when it comes to the basics of trends is, and this is a big one, you guys, it is the life cycle and the stages of a design trend. This is really important whether you're an interior designer or even just a design enthusiast, or if you just don't really care about design, but you're going through a kitchen remodel and you're making all those choices yourself. Buyer beware. Because if you are picking what you think is trending or what you think you're seeing a lot of online, it usually means it's in one of the declining stages. And it means you're going to want to rip it out probably in 5 years. So don't do that. Here's the life cycle of a design trend. Stage one is usually just introduced, and usually that's introduced by interior designers or the hottest, influential designers out there. And it's beginning to become accepted. It's like, oh, this is new. Oh, this is exciting. Stage two, it's kind of rising up. More designers are getting noticed. More of them are liking it. And you're starting to see it a little bit more regularly as it becomes more accepted and it starts kind of replacing a different trend. Stage three is kind of what I call its peak. And at this point, I find that you're going to see variations usually of that trend crop up as it's becoming overused. So when curved couches or curves started really trending in furniture, this was way back when. Now we're seeing curves and waves and arches and fluted furniture. We're seeing them arches everywhere. And that's usually what you see when it's like at its peak, and you're going to see the variation of that. Stage four is when it starts to decline. And that's kind of the excessive overuse of a trend. And it's usually when the masses, yes, that's usually the person that is not even the design enthusiast, usually a person that's just going through the remodel and they're like, I think that Joanna Gaines trend is farmhouse kitchen is trending. Maybe I'll go with that. So that's usually overused. You're going to see too much of it. And then people get really sick of it. And that's when it hits stage 5, and that's obsolescence. And usually that's also the new trend, the rebounding new trend will have already kind of rebounded when it's in its decline mode. Think gray, anything gray right now is, obsolescence. And I know I'm a lot of you are like, oh, wait, I did gray. Now, gray as a color if you love the gray color, wonderful. But what we saw is everything gray. All the walls were gray, all the, everything turned gray. And so we got really tired of it. And that's kind of a color trend that's kind of moved forward. And a good example of this would be this thing. Remember these trends? This was the Tuscan trend, the brown trend that we saw in the early 2000s that quickly rebounded to this heavy gray trend. And if you love this style and it fits the style of your house, obviously there's a time and place for everything. But we see usually with trends is people over embrace them. They shove it in their Tuscan kitchen and their farmhouse style house or ranch style house. It doesn't really fit and they're ripping it out. And I don't know about you, I can't really afford to completely renovate or remodel my kitchen every 10 years as a new trend hits. So careful when you're following trends, but most importantly, always look at the life cycle of that decision. Where do you think that is? If you're picking gray floors right now for your home, do not. It's life cycled out. So it's in the obsolescence. So you have to kind of know that unless you absolutely love it. And if you don't think I'm right about this, in a recent house study, the events that triggered kitchen renovations wasn't because people needed something new, wasn't because their kitchen was falling apart. It was because they could no longer stand the style of their kitchen. And I would almost make the argument that they went with a heavily trended kitchen style and they're over it. So almost half of those people are taking it out. And it's okay. We've all done it. I don't mean to make you feel bad, but this is just something to be aware of at each and every decision that you make with your kitchen. You have to look at the life cycle. Where is it cycling? And most importantly, try and think of something that is more timeless. What is timeless? It's those colors that you have always, always loved, regardless of trend. And you can almost make the argument you didn't always, always love everything gray if you embrace gray. If you did, then great. You're never going to want to change your house. So what do we have to ask ourselves? And this is what my designers, this is what we went through with my trends training, is we have to ask ourselves, where in the life cycle is it? So right now, what's really trending is these color drenching, these heavily moody, color drenched rooms that everything is that color. And we have to ask ourselves, well, where in the life cycle? Because you may want to embrace that maybe in a small powder room or bathroom. And lucky for you, I think it's gonna trend for a while. And also maybe not ever trend out if you put it in a small room because you won't get sick of it. Now, if you put it in a big room, you probably will get sick of it pretty quickly. We have to ask ourselves, where in the life cycle is this heavy kind of white and black kitchen farmhouse style? And when I say, I'm talking about a lot of black fixtures, black windows, white kitchens. Now, white kitchens in general, I've always said, are fairly timeless. You'll see them all throughout the timeline. But what's not always timeless is the black and white to the extreme. So unless you've always loved it, if it's the style of your home, you might want to know this is kind of the peak kind of decline of this trend. And then finally, I need to tell you, because if you go heavy with any one of those trends, it's going to expose the era of your kitchen. Just like I showed you those photos, the Tuscan versus gray. We all know what a 70s kitchen looks like or an 80s kitchen. The good news is, for you designers out there, there's so much of a need. My stagers and designers, I've been telling you this. They need you to go in. People need your advice. They need you to be aware of the life cycle, where are things at, help them from these pitfalls, unless it's something they've always, always loved. Maybe they need to steer away to a more timeless design plan for their kitchens and baths that fits the architecture of their home. That'll never go out of style because remodeling is really hot. Remodeling is really hot right now, which is so, so exciting. It's a great time to be in this industry. You're always, always better to go timeless on those big purchases. So certainly, cabinets are big purchases. Countertops are big purchases. You can go more timeless in that color. And you can get a little crazy if you want on your backsplash, or you can even, if you've always loved blue, paint the kitchen island blue. You're not going to get tired of that necessarily because you've always loved that color. So you're not over embracing a trend. Again, just know it's easy to make those expensive kind of life cycle design mistakes. In my trends workshop, I went through so many photos of these are new build homes where I would almost make the argument that these builders are installing late life cycle kitchens and baths that people will get tired of very soon. Some builders were embracing the newer kind of timber warm trend, but a lot of them weren't. And these are new homes. So anyone buying a new home would not want it to be dated in 5 years. And I would make the argument that that will be. So again, the timeless color choice is the color. If you take nothing from this video, the timeless color choice is the color that your clients have always loved. If you're designing your kitchen, it's the color you've always loved. Go for it because you're not going to get tired of your favorite timeless color choice. Hopefully you like this little video that walks you through kind of the essential elements of understanding trends, and I'll see you in my next video.